Lineup of celebrities, swimming legends, and the biggest names in the sport today. Tonight, you'll see Elizabeth Beisel, David Berghoff, Matt Biondi, Janet Evans, Kevin Farley, Missy Franklin, Rowdy Gaines, Michael Lewis, Ryan Lochte, Debbie Meyer, John Neighbor, Michael Phelps, Summer Sanders, John Slattery, Rebecca Soni, Amy Van Dyken, Dana Vollmer, David Wharton, and Cameron and Tyler Winklevoss. And now, please welcome the master of ceremonies of our show. He was one of the longest running cast members on Saturday Night Live. Among others, he was Franz from Hans and Franz, Mr. Subliminal, and the Weekend Update anchor. He can currently be seen on Showtime's critically acclaimed series, Weeds. Please welcome Kevin Nealon.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate that so much. I'm very excited to be here. I'm excited that you are here. We are going to have a good time tonight. Not here, but we'll go someplace. We're going to go someplace and do it right. I don't know why they have me hosting this. I know Bob Costas was here last year. How did he see over this podium? Was he like this? Was he about like this here? I kid Bob, but he's a nice guy. But anyway, I'm excited that you're here. Thanks for braving the weather. I know for some of us, this is really braving it when it's raining here in Los Angeles. I personally like cold weather. In the winter, I sleep with my windows open with a lot of blankets. I like that. I get under the covers, I'm all snug. You get the draft coming in from outside. And then in the summer, I crank the air conditioner all the way up. I open up the window, and I sleep out in the backyard. You got that draft coming from inside the house. Oh, it's amazing. I love it. I love it. You ever been so tired you fell asleep sitting up? That happened to me like 2 days ago, and I woke up and I thought, Jesus, I better pull over. This is not good. This is not good. I'm not sleeping a lot at night. That's the problem. You know, I get up like 4 times to go to the bathroom. 4 times. How many for you, sir, with a camera? How many times? 0? You should have that checked out. There might be some blockage going on in there. I'm serious. But you know what it is? Mine is I drink too much water late at night. And maybe that's why they have me here tonight, because that's my involvement with water. I drink too much water. But yeah, I'm like, you know, and I'm exhausted during the day because I get up 4 times. I'd probably get a better night's sleep if I started on the toilet and get up to go to my bed 4 or 5 times a night. You heard me. You heard me. Anyway, this is very exciting to be around so many swimmers. I just taught my son, he's 5, he just turned 5, how to swim this summer. And I think it's really important for kids to start young and know how to swim. And it is amazing. If you have kids, you know how fast these kids grow. I mean, 5 years old, we had a party for them. My parents came out, they're 80 years old, and they're married for 61 years, and they still hold hands. But I think, thank you, but I think that's probably to keep them from falling over, you know. And we didn't know when to have the party because, you know, my kid naps at 2, and then his friends at school, we had to find out what time they take their naps. And then I had to find out when my parents nap. And you know, I take a power nap at 3 in the afternoon. So we had to find a time when everybody would be awake at the same time. So we ended up having it at 7 in the morning, this nap. And it was just an amazing, amazing party, amazing party. How's the food? I hear a lot of silverware. Is it good? Good food? Sort of? A little bit? Fantastic. I had a child later in life. I'm an older first-time dad, and it's kind of weird. Here I am having a kid at my age when all my friends are already sending their kids off to rehab, actually. But, you know, and my kid's not even drinking yet. He likes to get dizzy, but that's about it. You know, he gets dizzy, which I think is a gateway drug to drinking, to be honest with you. But, yeah, I sure do wish I was a swimmer, because that seems like a sport you don't get injured. Yeah, I guess you get drowned, but that's about it. You know, but there's no, like, sprained knees or anything like that. But I was in advertising for a while, and that was very deceptive, the way they manipulate people to buy stuff. But this is a lot more fun because you get to come to places like this. Downtown LA, it's had a real resurgence in this area. You know, there's a lot of cultural and historical diversity down here at strip clubs. I don't know if you get out much or not, but I personally love it down here. And I mean, working in this hotel here, Fire Trap, it's just one of the best places in the world to be working. And they got a great staff working here, illegals. They're doing a good job. Doing a good job. But I don't need a lot to do when I go places, because you know what? I'm kind of a people watcher, Peeping Tom. That's what I like to do, like to watch people. And you can tell so much about somebody, you know, just by their appearance and stuff. And anyway, I don't want to get off on that. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've got, it's a 6-hour show tonight, a 6-hour program. And we're going to be bringing up so many incredible swimmers on this stage. I wish they put water up here. But they didn't, you know. So let's get right to this. And before we introduce our honored guests this evening, let's talk a little bit about what they've accomplished. How about that? In 2011, at the World Championships in Shanghai, Team USA was its typically dominant self, taking home a total of 32 medals, 17 of them gold. They were led by perhaps the 2 greatest swimmers in history. We all know that Michael Phelps will go down as the greatest of all time. He could have retired 3 years ago after that Beijing Games with his place in history firmly secured. But in 2011, he rose again, rededicated to his sport, and back on his A game. And he didn't have to look far for motivation, because history's second greatest swimmer of all time, the Buzz Aldrin of swimmers, was racing past him at every chance he got. And in 2011, Ryan Lochte not only cemented himself as the all-around best in the world right now, but he also made a compelling case that he has now surpassed all but the mighty Phelps on the all-time list. That's a lot of information right there. Are you taking it in? I've never heard of this before. Together at the World Champs, Lochte and Phelps accounted for 13 medals, 9 gold, and went 1-2 in 2 amazing races in the 200 freestyle and the 200 IM. Meanwhile, this is all stuff that I could not do unless I practiced a little bit. Anyway, meanwhile, the women of Team USA witnessed the arrival of a world-beating teen. 1 year ago, she was named the Breakout Swimmer of the Year on this Golden Goggles stage. This seems like it's written for Bob Costas, doesn't it? Did he have to stand on a box behind here? Seriously. Everyone knew great things were in store for the incredible Missy Franklin, yet few were prepared for her performance in Shanghai. With 3 golds, including a stunning American record in the 200 backstroke, 16-year-old Missy Franklin established herself as a bona fide superstar of the sport. She's in good company, too. Extending her world dominance in the breaststrokes, Rebecca Soni was also a triple world champion in Shanghai, and in the 100 butterfly and the 400 IM, Dana Vollmer and Elizabeth Beisel climbed to the top of the podium, too, leading a deep women's squad loaded with talent and gold medal expectations next year in London. Yes, the next Olympic Games are right around the corner, folks. 250 days to be exact. Did you know that? I think a lot of you probably are counting down the days. You also probably knew that in 218 days, what? The U.S. Olympic trials will commence in Omaha. Why Omaha? That's what I want to know. Aren't there just farms out there? Is there any pools? Maybe it's a lake. I don't know. Maybe it's got to be a fishing pond or something. Well, Omaha, where the single hardest Olympic team to make in any sport or any country, will be chosen in one of the most compelling dramas in all of sport. I need music behind me when I'm talking like this. But these trials are brutal. Oh, yeah. An unforgiving pressure cooker that doesn't care one bit about what you've done in the past. Oh, I know that all too well. Not one of those champions I've just mentioned, not Phelps, not Lochte, not Franklin or Soni, is assured of a spot on next year's Olympic team in London. And I think that's a shame. They should be assured a spot. To make it, they need to prove it in Omaha. That should be the T-shirt slogan right there. If you can make it in Omaha, you can make it in London. That's what I'm going to print up right after the show. So, while we toast this year's accomplishments tonight, rest assured that their thoughts are already somewhere else. Already back in the pool, envisioning the next race at the trials and the games ahead. I've told that for a swimmer, there's only one thing better than being a world champion, and that's being an Olympic champion. And I think that's probably true, especially since it's written.